Nectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobby Seal-Kobiski, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay, you can start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the self-management presentation on our programs that I'd love to share with you. My name is Louise Rolland. I am the program coordinator for Vancouver Coastal Health Region, Sunshine Coast, Powell River, Sea to Sky, all these wonderful places. Our programs are actually all throughout BC. So welcome. So our self-management programs were developed at the Stanford University, and they're all evidence-based programs endorsed by Health Council of Canada, U.S. Centre of Disease Control and Prevention, and U.S. National Council on Aging. Self-Management BC has actually been doing our programs for, I think almost 20-something years. Our programs have been implemented in actually over 25 countries now. These programs are being offered. And since 2000, our programs with Self-Management BC have actually been held in over 160 communities in our province. We're now able to offer our programs in person, online, or by telephone. Before the COVID restrictions came into place, we were doing our programs in person. And so quickly, we realized that people really did need our programs, which I will explain more about in just a moment. But because of the restrictions of people being indoors, we got so busy. Now we actually provide them virtually as well. And it's excellent for programs that, for people that mobility is an issue, they can stay in the luxury of their home and still participate into these interactive programs that we have. We also have programs where people can connect on the telephone. We also have some specific programs that are actually offered in Chinese and Punjabi and for Indigenous communities. So who can participate in our programs? And our programs, I'm going to say now, and I'll explain a little bit more, are chronic conditions self-management programs. We have a chronic pain self-management program, diabetes self-management program, and a cancer program for people that are thriving and striving to be well through their process. We also have an online Better Health, Better Choices, which is an independent program, which is chronic conditions based, and they can do it anytime of the day, and they go for 6 weeks, and people can join in anytime, as I was just said. Yeah. Then we have the health coach program, which people can be combined and connected and paired up with people with very similar situations as themselves that can help them with a phone call once a week for 30 minutes. And this can go on for 3 months. If after the 3 months building momentum, and they're just really would like a little bit more time with their health coach, then it can be extended for another 3 months. So we have an amazing array of programs, and we're still continuing. We have 2 other programs that are coming down the pipe right now too. We have one for frailty, to help people be just, coaching in different ways of trying to live safely in their homes and outside, and how to travel and how to communicate with their healthcare providers. Actually, all our programs really, really help connect with our healthcare system as well. So I hope I've remembered all the programs, but we also have another surprise that's coming down the pipe that's not really out there yet, but it's coming. I'm really excited about all of our programs, but this one too is going to be great. So who can participate? Programs are designed for adults 19 plus. They're available in a choice of their choice of formats, and anyone with any type of chronic health conditions or pain. It could be their spouse, caregivers, family members. Everyone is encouraged to participate. We also have quite a few healthcare providers, home care workers that are really wanting to understand some of their clients and how they can help better. They're also welcome to participate in our programs. I just want to mention as well, it could be self-referral. Our healthcare providers often refer to the programs. They could hear it, through a friend, through online. There's many ways, but they can also, refer themselves on our website, which is available. I'll give you the connection in just a moment. So I'd like to just take a moment to define what self-management is and how we see it. The tasks that individuals must undertake on a daily basis to live well with one or more chronic condition. And these tasks include gaining confidence to deal with conditions, to continue with as normal routine as possible, and to deal with their emotions. So it's not just a physical program where we're talking about a specific disease. We're talking about self-management with all that those chronic conditions encompass. And what happens, we go to the healthcare providers, we go to our appointments, we go to, get our tests done regularly. And then when we come home, how do we live with that knowledge? And how do we manage and do tasks that can bring that knowledge and be the best that we can and build up a way that we're confident? So often people, when they start in week 1 of any of our programs, they're not too sure. They're, when asked, how has it affected them, these conditions, people will say, I feel isolated. I feel lonely. I don't understand why this is. I get angry. I don't understand what it is, all these, prescriptions and medications. And so what we do in our programs is we build connection with others in the groups that are very much like themselves, and the sharing in that community of ideas, of knowing that they're not alone, that there are other people that have the same kind of feelings, and what to do about it. Our programs are very interactive. There's all kinds, and we're going to do a little exercise towards the end. All of the programs are interactive, and they got reading, and all the materials that are provided by our wonderful funder, which is the Ministry of Health. Yeah. So self-efficacy, the confidence, this is how we define it. The confidence in a person has in his or her ability to complete a future task is associated with actually completing that task. Self-efficacy is defined as one's belief that one can perform a specific behavior or task in the future. And that's a great feeling. Our self-management programs help people learn how to get started, decision-making, dealing with anger, fear, frustration, all of those difficult emotions. Actions, there's an action planning part every week in our programs. And when someone is paired with a health coach, they go through every week, they'll make an action plan, a little something that someone wants to do, and they break it down, and their confidence that they're going to do it is raised up high. At the beginning of the next session or the next phone call, it is, how did you do? And it's like in that action planning, it's decision making. If it wasn't the right action plan that they really wanted to do, they decide to change it during the week. They might have decided to do the other very important tool that is provided, is problem solving. So this action planning is very, very useful and helps build that self-efficacy that I had just mentioned. You are your biggest healthcare provider. On the average, people with chronic conditions see healthcare professionals 12 hours a week, 12 hours, sorry, per year. I guess if they're in hospital, it might be 12 hours a week, but it's usually about 12 hours per year. Now, these programs help these people with the chronic health conditions, whatever they are, chronic pain, diabetes, they helps them manage all of the information that they get and encouragement from their healthcare team. And it helps them implement that for 364 days per year. They have tools in their toolbox, which we're going to talk about very shortly. So what are chronic health conditions? I think everyone understands that chronic health conditions are ongoing health conditions like heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, asthma, bronchitis, emphysema, and others. The thing with these chronic health conditions is that they're all a little bit different physically, but emotionally, we have found that there's a lot of similarity. It doesn't matter what the health condition is, that it stirs up some difficult emotions, which in the group we talk about. We do different things that may help people, which is one of the most important things, is find out deep inside what was the cause of that difficult emotion. Because then people, once they recognize the cause, they can do something about it. They understand, okay, that's what's causing it. What would you like to do? Sometimes it becomes an action plan. So that all interactive, the tools that are provided. Some of the common problems are they're not being able to do things. Difficult dealing with healthcare professionals. Problems with medications. They might have difficulty in breathing, trouble sleeping, pain, fatigue, isolation. Life sometimes seems so unpredictable and they worry about their future. So these are the problems that we talk about. Whatever might come up, there's a template in problem solving. And there's sometimes, a problem may really have to be worked out a little bit longer, but usually people come to a good, happy place and in dealing with these problems. We talk about this symptom cycle, and we talk about how all of these symptoms play in with each other. The poor sleep, they're exhausted, they're fatigued, and sometimes, depressed. The depression, goes with the poor sleep. They can't sleep because they got these difficult emotions. All these thoughts are going through their head. They get stress, anxiety. They're not able to breathe, so they got shortness of breath. It just plays on and on and on, and not necessarily in one circle, but back and forth, and they feed into each other. I know that I could relate to that. And then what happens in our workshops is we work really hard at trying to break that symptom cycle and look at the cause again. If it's poor sleep, what can we do to get a better sleep? If it's something to do with shortness of breath, let's talk about that with our healthcare providers. Let's let them know that you're having a shortness of breath, and maybe there's something that they can do to help you with that. Stress and anxiety. And, this toolbox can really help. And this is our toolbox that I'm talking about. We talk about making decisions. We talk about planning, actually sitting down, taking the time and planning. Sleep. We talk about using your mind and using your mind many ways. There's ways that we can use our mind in meditation. We could do distraction. There's different things that we practice, very interactive programs. We talk about understanding our emotions, healthy eating. We don't tell people what to eat. We just help them make healthy choices. Evaluating treatments, problem solving, physical activity. We talk about pain management, weight management, communication with our family, our friends, our healthcare providers. There's a whole section in that. And also communicating with ourselves. What is the self-talk that's going on inside of us? We talk about medication usage and working with our healthcare professionals, how that we can make them part of our team, and you become an active self-manager so that you're part of that team. Here's the little exercise I wanted to do with all of you. Okay. If you have just a moment, one of the things that we want to do right now is I want to show you the power of the mind-body connection. So if you have just a moment, if you're driving, please wait till you're home. But when you just get comfortable in your seat, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and I want you to think about a lemon, a big, juicy, cold lemon. And you want to squeeze it, and you can just tell there's so much juice in that lemon. Now bring it up to your nose, and you can smell all the citrus aroma. Now take a knife and slice that lemon. Take a big slice and bring it up to your nose. Oh, it's so juicy. Now take a big bite and drink up all that juice from that lemon. It's so juicy. Now, when you're finished drinking all the juice of that slice of lemon, I want you just to open your eyes and then come back. And I bet that some of you have noticed a reaction in your body. I know I have. I feel all puckered up. My mouth is watering. All of that reaction in my body, and there's no lemon. This is how we share with our participants the power of our mind and remind them that we have the ability to be able to make choices all the time. We always have a choice. We might not have a choice of what has happened to us. They say that there's 10% of your life that happens to you and 90% of your life dealing with that 10%. So while you're dealing with that 10%, it's so much better to use your mind to make a choice that we don't want to worry. It's not that we're not good enough. It's not that we don't belong. It's not that we did anything wrong. We are in a situation now that we need some extra help, and we are going to do that for ourselves. And this is what we teach in our programs. We really want people to get back in the driver's seat, to have that self-efficacy, that they can make healthy choices, not just with their mind, but just being in touch with themselves. Okay. So the materials, all of the materials that we provide in our workshops are provided free of charge. Everyone is given, if they're going to take a living a healthy life with chronic conditions, diabetes, or cancer, then they get this amazing, really thick book for free. And we don't go through the book. It's not a workbook per se. It's a reference book. We use it just to reference, but people are encouraged to go into the book. But if we're talking about, say, physical activity, there are exercises that people can do, and they are provided with a link that they can actually go on to YouTube and go on to different places to actually go through. We have this incredible program. It's called Moving Easy program, and it's so gentle. And they can do that at their own risk, at their own timing. But the risks is that not to do it if there's any pains in their chest, and it's really written out specifically to seek help. If that should happen, if they should have pain in their chest or shortness of breath or numbness in their feeling if they're feeling numbness in their arm. They're also given a link to guided imagery. That is another mindful exercise that we do with our groups, where we guide them through this beautiful garden and relax. And then we also have a body scan where they go through their body and they just notice and they just breathe and relax right from the tips of their toes up to the top of their head. People that are signing up for our chronic pain workshops, they get the living a healthy life with chronic pain. Very similar. It's got a lot of the very similar things that are in the chronic conditions, living a healthy life, but it really specifies on pain, and it specifies a little bit more on medications, and there's a whole section about opioid usage. There's it's different but similar, but they would get that free book as well. Okay. So our programs are, like I mentioned at the very beginning, is research. And the research is that when people, and it's only if they want, it's not mandatory, they fill out a PAM, which is a patient activation measure. And so they answer these questions, and it's kept on file for them. And 6 months later, they get another questionnaire to check in to see how they're doing. Well, the 6-month post-program effectiveness, people believed that they had better health. They were practicing more ways of coping with their symptoms. They had a higher level of self-efficacy to manage their symptoms, had a higher level of self-efficacy to control and manage depression. They had a higher level of self-efficacy to manage their condition, their disease. They were less distressed about their health condition. They were less limited in their daily activities. They were experiencing less shortness of breath. They were experiencing less pain, were less bothered by their illness and
By mistake, you went on mute.
I'm sorry, did I miss anything here? Sorry,
Yeah, just one line. Go back.
oh, I see. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, they were less bothered by their illness. So this program really has helped provide these tools for people. And the other thing too about our programs, before I go into how to refer, or our website and what have you, but they can take our programs as many times as they like. They can take as many programs, different programs, as anybody likes, and as many times. The only thing we ask is that they take one at a time so that they are able to focus on that. Okay. So here is our contact information for our office at Self Management BC. And that's our number, the main line, if you're calling, within the lower mainland, 604-940-1273, or it's toll free, 1-866-902-3767. And then our website is www.selfmanagementbc.ca. And you can email us at selfmanagement@uvic.ca. And my contact direct, if you would like to connect with me directly, is 604-940-8945. And my email address is lrowland@uvic.ca. Now, before I open it up for questions, I'd like to let you know that if any of you would like to receive a toolkit, which is a smaller version of the 2.5-hour programs, because our programs are 2.5 hours. There's lots of stretches, there's lots of breaks for people to be comfortable. We are encouraging people to get up, stretch. They don't have to, sit. They can just, I've had people at an in-person workshop come, and I told them, just please, this one fellow had such a bad back. He was just in so much pain. He brought his yoga mat and he would sleep. And I was so honored, because one of the biggest issues was that he wasn't able to sleep at night. He was in so much pain. So if I looked over and saw him sleeping, I thought this was a good thing. I would always let him know what he had missed during the conversation or whatever, data that he had missed, but he was able to sleep. And we really encourage people to be comfortable in our workshops. Now, the toolkit is a real condensed version of all the tools that we talked about. And it has references to the bigger book, The Living a Healthy Life with Chronic Health Conditions or Chronic Pain. Now, we have toolkits, and we just updated another one too. So we have toolkits for the chronic conditions, the chronic pain, the diabetes, and we're just completing the cancer one. And if you are interested in receiving any of those toolkits, please email me with your name, your address. If you have a buzzer number, because sometimes we courier them, if you have, and please include your phone number, and I will make sure that you receive one of those tools. You can have all of them. You can look at all of them if you like. A lot of the healthcare providers that I have presented to in the past, they have chosen to take bundles of them to share with their patients. And so you're welcome to do that as well if you're interested. If you would like to have a workshop held in any of your facilities, please let me know and we can set that up. We have volunteer leaders that are trained, extensive training, to come in and lead these programs. We always have 2 of them at a time. So we can set up programs for you as well to have in your facility, or if you would just like more information about any of what I've covered today, because there's so much more to really share, please give me a call or email me, and I'm happy to respond. So I'm just going to stop the share now. And if anyone has a question, please feel free. You can email me or phone me, or if there's anyone now, I'm happy to respond. Okay.
Unfortunately, there is nobody there on the call.
Okay.
So it was
That's
really
okay.
nice. So your program is like open for everybody in BC, right?
Everyone in BC, anybody, any healthcare providers. We actually had this one family doctor who was amazed by one of his patients who had chronic conditions for a long time. And he was quite concerned about her because her mental health was declining and she was really discouraged. And he asked her, are you doing okay? And this one time he tried to give her, he helped her as much as he could. And one day she came into his appointment and she had one of our books and she looked so good. She was happy. She was so excited to share this program that she had finished. And he was so intrigued that he registered for a program. He never told me that he was a healthcare provider or a family doctor or anything, but he was so impressed with our programs. He wrote the most beautiful testimony. And so that I've had a lot of healthcare providers say that they really do notice a difference in their clients or their patients. Yeah.
Yeah, at one time I had a lot of problem with spasm because of the spinal
Oh,
injury. I got over it slowly in time, but there was nothing like this available at that time. So,
yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Well, I'm really, really happy that the Ministry of Health provides funding so
mm,
anyone in British Columbia. We actually have started other provinces now onto the program. So I think there's almost every single province now in Canada has applied for their license to do these programs now. So it's growing, which I'm very happy about.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, I know how well it was for me. I had chronic health conditions. I had a chronic health condition since I was 11 years old. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis for children,
Mhm.
and yeah, they thought I might be in a wheelchair by the time I was 20. And I did. I had a hard time, but I kept working at it, and then I found these programs.
Mm,
It's really made a big difference. I thought I have to get more involved.
yeah,
I've
so,
been now working with self-management for 11 years.
oh,
Yeah. So that's great. Well, that was short. That wasn't too long.
that's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine. And
Okay.
people might be watching it on YouTube or Facebook. So,
Okay. Well, I hope that, it was short, but I hope that people, if they are listening to it out there, can reach for more information for sure.
I will give you the YouTube link so
Okay.
you can share it with someone if you want. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Good. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
So we'll end the call now. If you
Yeah, I went there.
mm,
Okay.
okay, it was really nice. Good information.
Really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for all your help, and thank you so much for inviting me to, talk about one of my biggest passions.
Program, so why not?
Yeah.